Courtland Sutton, the most underrated wide receiver in the league. Could Courtland Sutton finally be getting the recognition he deserves in Madden 26? Despite elite stats, highlight reel plays, and consistent production in the National Football League, many gamers and analysts still overlook Sutton when building their teams. But here's the twist. His speed, hands, and route running make him a hidden gem that could dominate in Madden 26, giving players a secret weapon they can exploit. Whether you're drafting in franchise mode or setting up a Madden Ultimate team, Sutton might just be the game changer no one is talking about. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the world of Madden 26 and talking about a player who I honestly think doesn't get nearly enough credit. That's right, I'm talking about Courtland Sutton. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is he really underrated? But stick with me because I've got stats, gameplay examples, and some serious breakdowns that will completely change the way you look at this guy in Madden. If you're a fan of the game, or just someone who loves finding hidden gems that can give you a competitive edge, you do not want to skip this video. So grab your controller, sit back, and let's get into it. First, let's talk about what makes a wide receiver truly valuable in Madden 26. Speed, route running, catching ability, awareness. These are all obvious traits, right? But there's more to it than just raw numbers. Chemistry with your quarterback, how well a player can create separation, and their ability to make contested catches under pressure are huge factors that often get overlooked when people just glance at a player's overall rating. And that's exactly where Courtland Sutton shines. His overall rating might not scream elite superstar, but his actual impact on the field tells a completely different story. One of the first things you notice when you start using Sutton is his size. Standing at 6'4", he's a physical specimen who can easily outmatch smaller defensive backs. In Madden, this translates to some insane catch animations in traffic. You're going to see him make catches over linebackers, snatch balls out of the sky in contested situations, and consistently win jump balls that would normally go to guys with higher ratings. And here's the kicker. Defenders in Madden sometimes underrate him too, which gives you an opportunity to exploit matchups in your favor. Now, let's get into his speed and acceleration. Sure, Sutton isn't Tyreek Hill. He's not going to outrun every cornerback in the league on a straight sprint. But here's the thing, he doesn't need to. His combination of size, route running, and speed is perfectly balanced. In Madden 26, this means you can run a variety of routes, crossers, slants, fades, and he'll consistently create separation even against top-tier defenders. Players underestimate how effective this is until you see it in action. You can call a post route and watch him effortlessly glide past the safety, catch the ball in stride, and pick up huge yards after the catch. Speaking of routes, Sutton's route running in Madden is surprisingly smooth. People think route running is all about pure speed, but the nuances like double moves, stutter steps, and timing with the quarterback are what really separate a great receiver from a decent one. Sutton has excellent ratings in his route precision and awareness, which means he's almost always in the right spot at the right time. Pair him with a quarterback who can anticipate his breaks, and you've got a recipe for consistent big plays. And this isn't just theory, it's backed up by gameplay footage I've run in my testing. I've found that he rarely drops passes, and when he does, it's usually due to user error rather than a flaw in his animations or ratings. Another underrated aspect of Sutton in Madden 26 is his catching ability. You have your standard catch stats like catching in traffic, catching in stride, and spectacular catches. Sutton's numbers here are solid, but what really stands out is how the game interprets those stats in real time. He's a receiver who can make clutch catches on 50-50 balls, snag a pass over a defender, and even convert third downs under pressure. This makes him incredibly reliable for those high-stakes moments when you need a playmaker, not just someone who pads stats in garbage time. Let's talk about physicality. This is where Sutton really separates himself from other receivers in the mid-tier rating range. His ability to break tackles and use his size to shield defenders is a game changer.
In Madden 26, a lot of wide receivers get pushed around by bigger safeties or linebackers, but Sutton uses his body extremely well. He can turn a short catch into a 15 or 20-yard gain consistently.
If you're playing franchise mode or online head-to-head, having a receiver who can turn routine plays into explosive gains is absolutely invaluable.
Now, I want to touch on awareness. A lot of players overlook this rating, but it's one of the most important traits in Madden. Awareness affects how well a player runs routes, finds open space, and reacts to the quarterback's throws. Sutton's awareness is above average, which means he's rarely out of position. You don't see him drifting into coverage or failing to adjust to the play. It all clicks in real time.
This might not be flashy, but when you combine it with his other traits, it's exactly what makes him a hidden gem.
One of the best ways to see Sutton's underrated potential is in matchup exploitation. Most players will try to cover him with average cornerbacks or safeties, thinking he's an easy target. This is a huge mistake. His size and contested catch ability make him extremely difficult to cover effectively, especially in the red zone. If you line him up in the slot or outside, he can dominate mismatches against smaller defenders.
I've personally tested this in multiple games, and every time he ends up being the top target for touchdowns in my offense. Another underrated aspect is how Sutton fits into different offensive schemes. Whether you're running a spread offense, a vertical attack, or a more balanced approach, he adapts incredibly well. He's not a one-trick pony who only shines on deep routes. His versatility allows you to mix in slants, outs, and even screen passes to keep the defense guessing. This flexibility is huge in Madden because predictable offenses get shut down quickly.
Having Sutton in your lineup adds unpredictability and allows you to diversify your play calling effectively.
Now, let's get into some stats. In my testing across multiple games, Sutton consistently leads my team in yards after catch, catch percentage, and big plays over 20 yards. Compared to other receivers with higher overall ratings, he's often more reliable in real-world gameplay scenarios. And here's the part that blows my mind. His rating doesn't fully reflect his performance on the field. That's exactly why I consider him one of the most underrated receivers in Madden 26.
Players often chase the flashy 95-plus overall stars and completely overlook someone like Sutton, who quietly delivers game-changing performances week in and week out.
I also want to point out his durability. In Madden 26, injuries can derail a season, and having a receiver who can consistently stay on the field is incredibly important. Sutton has a solid injury rating, which means he's reliable week to week. You don't have to worry about losing your top weapon to a minor tweak or a hard hit. This reliability further cements his status as an underrated pick for franchise mode or online competitive play. It's not just about raw numbers either. The way Sutton plays in Madden feels natural. His animations, ability to track the ball, and timing with the quarterback all contribute to a seamless experience. This is something you can't fully capture in a stat sheet. When you're playing and your wide receiver just feels right, it makes a huge difference. That's exactly what Sutton brings to the table. He feels like a trusted weapon you can rely on in clutch situations.